Rage Whale, making waves over movies.
For the 5th time.
Hi guys, welcome to Rage Whale, making waves about movies, as Drew just eloquently put. I'm Kev, this is Drew and James, and hi guys, how you doing?
All right. Did you see what I put my name as? I've been watching Brass Eye, classic.
Russ. I've not seen that in ages. Oh, we've got an international podcaster today. James, where are you?
I'll show you. I was hanging out with some Olympians earlier. We're in a
He's gonna.
sunny Espanol. This is my balcony for the week.
Ooh.
We have
This is great for the audio podcasters.
The Spanish national hockey team are staying in the hotel. So
Where are you? Tenerife, did you say?
Tenerife? No, how dare you?
Whereabouts
Nice
in Spain?
Kitchen over here. Nice bathroom. We're in Benalmádena, which is in Costa del Sol. And I
thought you couldn't pronounce Benidorm.
Well, I woke up the other day thinking, oh, God damn, it's raining. Turns out they're not switched on at the moment, but we have waterfalls that come down there. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. Like the waterfalls.
It looks like your hotel is like in the jungle or in a jungle or like in a go outdoors place.
It's like a bloody
the door and there's like waterfalls and shit.
Yeah, like a play gym for kids.
There's a little. They're getting ready for Valentine's Day. You can see the Love and a little Fiat 500 maybe over there, a little old school one.
Nothing says love like Fiat 500.
Yeah, there's some turtles as well over there, but we're not going now. He's trying to get my room now.
What, Teenage Mutant Ninja ones or literal?
Fucking thing.
Are you locked out?
You locked yourself out of your hotel room?
No, the key card, the wristband is the lock. But it's like really... Speaking movies, though, we have Godzilla, Kong, sorry. Another Kong from the upcoming film, Mecha Godzilla.
For the audio people, he's got toys for his kid.
Scar King from the new film.
I mean, it could be for James, though. It might not just be for...
Yeah, a bunch of stuff from Spider-Verse and a Lego Doc
He had a kid so he can get away with this in public, basically.
Yeah. What's that called?
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I saw the Spider-Verse on the Miles Morales.
And the sandals.
Spider-Man flip-flops.
Spider-Man everything. Yeah, we've got Spider-Man everything, yeah.
Were they yours or Reeves?
Reeves, he's obsessed with Godzilla at the moment for some reason. I don't know why.
I mean, the new trailer of it does look good. It does look good, to be fair.
There is one thing, though, I think looks a bit silly. Is when Godzilla's running. When have you ever seen Godzilla run?
No, he swims, doesn't he, and stomps.
Yeah,
slowly.
The new one. Imagine him and King Kong running. How the ground they cover in such a short space of time is ridiculous.
It feels like he's doing the Iron Man, you know, where you run, you swim, you jump, you ride a bike. I can imagine Godzilla riding a bike, probably.
Maybe
a massive
unicycle.
Yeah, a unicycle. Yeah, the old school ones with the big wheel and the back wheel that's smaller.
And the horn goes...
Yeah, that would be like, oh my God, Godzilla's coming! Yeah.
Anyway, back on track.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
You watched all of Us as Strangers.
Because, well, I was going to talk about a different film, actually, then. But yeah, okay, so 2 episodes ago, James really hated on All of Us Strangers. Because, wasn't a great first date film, was it? With a girl, to be specific. But I went to see it the other night, and I was about to say it blew me away, but I knew it was opening you up for a joke. But it was impressive. I thought Andrew Scott was unreal. Like his subtle nuance acting, it was incredible. Drew, I don't think you've seen it yet, have you?
No, I haven't seen it yet. It's on my list, man, for sure.
You must watch it. I think James is right about a lot of films, but I think I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. I thought everyone in the film was brilliant. And it really made my heart break loads of times. It was really tough at times.
Oh
Like
wow.
especially when because like you said, it's not really a spoiler anymore. It's been out a few weeks. Like his parents are dead, and he goes back to his old home,
Mm.
and they're there as ghosts or apparitions. We don't. It's not. I think it's insinuated ghosts, to be honest, but
Right.
because they don't just disappear. They're not just in his mind. Other people see him, sort of.
Wow.
But yeah, he goes back and speaks to his mum, and he comes out as gay. Like they see him as an adult, not as a child anymore. And the mum is quite derogatory and quite rude because in the 70s and 80s, like that's when the AIDS crisis was around. That's when
Mhm.
it was dangerous to be gay. You could catch HIV and die and all these sort of things. And the mum's quite like taken aback by it, and she's quite not mean about it. She's just like thinks it's a phase and stuff like that. And it's really quite opinions of that time. It's quite horrible to listen to. But also then when you hear the dad, who you've just seen in a previous scene, take the piss out of of his son because he holds hands with his son, and then he goes, "Enough of that queer stuff," just as a joke. And then when he tells his dad he's gay, Jamie Bell actually kind of is quite emotional, and he's like really apologetic for the way he's treated people. And he goes, "I always knew you're a bit fruity." Like there's language like that, which but in this film it's quite nice because it's some old fashioned person being nice about it. So
Mm.
yeah, I thought it was really good. But I know what you're saying, James, about like the cinematography is nice. It's basic compared to some big film, but it doesn't need to be all flashy. The whole point is it's go on, Drew. You're
It's a character.
pixelated. Looks
I
like
was
you're going to
gonna.
say,
I was going to say that I think to carry on from what you were saying, it's not about how exciting the shot looks because it's a character-driven piece. So they're trying
yeah,
not to
yeah,
be too clever with the cinematography. That it's actually about almost like a fly on the wall. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you feel like you're really there.
I
I
still
imagine.
think the cinematography is really nice. Like they've got really good use of colors and the way it's set. Like when he's lying in bed, the camera's there, and when he sits up, it turns with him. And the
That's
background
cool.
is always like the London view and stuff like that. There's loads of really quite simple, clever shots, not big shots, just simple ones. But yeah, I thought it was really good. Maybe not for everyone, but yeah, I was
Would you
impressed.
say that? Would you say there's a color palette? Like if you could.
Yeah, blue mainly,
Okay.
especially when he goes out. I forget what Paul Mescal's character convinces them to go out to the clubs and stuff like that, and he loves it. And that's when you start thinking, "Oh shit, is Paul Mescal real?" Because there's a few scenes where he's looking, in the dance floor, and Paul Mescal's dancing or chatting to someone else. As he gets closer, he like glitches and disappears, and then he comes back, and you're like, "Oh, is something wrong with Andrew Scott? Is he seeing people? Is this real? Is this not real?" And it gets confusing. It predicts what it might happen towards later, but I don't want to give the big spoilers away. But
But
it was good.
that's quite cool because it seems like they've got more of a like almost like a kind of love type film, but it's kind of more psychological, which is quite a unique storyline for something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it also had, you know, a pretty gross moment. Like you guys have seen Saltburn now, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You've seen it too, James. Yeah,
Yeah, twice, 3 times.
Saltburn.
Yeah.
Jesus,
we're not saying sunburn.
Talking
James
about
is sunburnt, just so everyone knows. Yeah, so the disgusting bathwater scene in Saltburn.
I think it was that disgusting. I thought the grave scene was worse.
Yeah, and that was all improvised. He wasn't even
Yeah.
told to do that. He was just told to make a scene. But the bathwater scene is disgusting because um, he whacks off in the bathtub, and just as it's draining away, he sticks his head down and slurps up the cummy bathwater. but
Slurpees.
in but in Oliver Strangers, there's a scene there where it's quite a nice romantic moment where he's like lying with his head on his chest, his bare chest, but you can see glistening splurts of and he licks it up. It's like, oh god.
Oh wow, that's the phase of 2024.
Yeah, that's got nothing to do with it being gay. If that was like a woman doing it as well, that would just be as like, oh my god, that didn't need to be shown. That little few seconds was a bit much. It didn't need to be there. But then again,
Like,
for
but Jim,
Saltburn, it worked in Saltburn because he's meant to be depraved and he's meant to be a bit psychopathic, whereas this is
Yeah, he's a
maybe
bit on
a love story, and so it felt a bit tone deaf those few seconds. The rest of it, brilliant. But anyway, should we move on to something else? What's anyone else want to chat about?
we also say, how did it get to his shoulder? No one's got that good a shot.
I don't think he aimed.
No way. No one's got that much horsepower.
Oh, I don't know. When you're younger,
No, not up on his shoulder.
but I think right. So that right. So to transition to the next film to talk about, but that film was
Oh
quite
no, he's frozen
upsetting.
again.
Like if you're in the moment, I know James, you weren't, but I was in
No,
the
he has.
moment, and it was fairly teary a little bit towards the end. But where's Drew? What are you laughing at? Right. But the next film I watched was worse. I went to see The Iron Claw,
Look to go. I want to see that.
which just keeps reminding me of Liar Liar.
What is going on
Come
with
on.
Zac Efron's chin? Like, I know he had an accident and he had to.
Yeah, he smashed his face up.
You know, it just looks odd, doesn't it now?
No, he broke his whole jaw, man.
Yeah, they had to rebuild it, so he's got a slightly different jawline. It's not like cosmetic surgery. I think it's literally he had to do it.
He's like Jackified in that film, isn't he?
Yeah.
Unreal. Because everyone else is built, and then you see Zach next to everyone, and you're like, Jesus, they look flat
He was
chested compared to him.
shredded in Baywatch, but he's
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah,
I've not seen that.
that was one of the films I did see.
You haven't seen the
Baywatch.
Baywatch with The Rock and Zac Efron?
Nah, looks
Really
shite.
funny.
One of the best comedies of recent time. It's so funny.
Oh, really?
And
It's
Panorama
really
and David Hasselhoff are both in it.
Oh, are they?
It's,
Yeah.
You know that?
it's so funny. The Rock spends the whole time calling him like One Direction or like Kenny Barbie. He doesn't call him his real name until like
Really?
the very end scene. But
He
it's
calls him
actually
High School
really-
the Musical.
What?
It's just hilarious. It's just a full blown. Because I was like hesitant to watch it. I was like, "Oh God, here we go, another remake." But it's actually hilarious. It's really funny. I won't give away
Okay.
any of the spoilers in that, but it is really funny film.
Yeah, I've seen The Rock take the piss out of him when they're doing the challenges and stuff like that. It's quite funny, but I assumed that was just that moment. It wasn't
No, the
funny
whole
everywhere
film
else.
is really funny. I've seen it like 10 times.
All right, I'll hunt it down. I think it's on streaming now, isn't it? But yeah, with the Iron Claw, I thought like Jeremy Allen White. I assumed it was like just all the brothers. Well, I should probably say the premise because not everyone knows about it. So the Iron Claw is a true story of the Von Erich brothers, who are a wrestling family, and the dad was a big deal, but he never quite made it pro, or he didn't make it to the. He didn't get a chance at the Ultimate Heavyweight Championship to get the belt, where he felt like he was being ripped off because he was good enough for it, but the companies didn't allow it. So when he had his kids, trained them up, and I mean, without jumping the gun, there's three main brothers, and no, sorry, there's four main brothers in the film. A fifth one is mentioned that died at 5 years old. So there's five brothers. It's only when I went on Wikipedia afterwards and had a little look at it, there were six of them. And this film is so tragic, and everything is so. I don't want to tell you or spoil it, but it's
Well,
so
it's not
tragic.
spoilers. True story in it. So
Well, I suppose, yeah. But there's so much tragedy. They didn't want to put in the sixth brother for that tragedy to overflow because it's so intense. But these brothers, the dad's not particularly nice. He's emotionally beating them and making them be the best they can be, but for his own gains because he wants the belt in the family. And he's just like it's the time when I think it's Russia that's meant to hold the Olympic Games in the 70s or early 80s. And that time, Jeremy Allen White, he's not in the film yet. There's like 40 minutes go past and Jeremy Allen White's not even in it yet. But he mentions him, Kerry, because he was an Olympian. He was going to do the shot put, and then the president goes on the TV and says, because of like war crimes and crimes to humanity, they are not allowing their people to go to Russia. So the Olympics gets called off, or America doesn't get involved, whatever it is. So Jeremy Allen White comes back to the family home in Texas, and he joins the wrestling group, and then they all go through that, and it's all the brothers end up wrestling at one point, and yeah, everything. The worst thing is that Zac Efron's the main guy, Kevin, and he is the best, but because he's not very good on the microphone, and because wrestling's all about the chat, isn't it? His brother's better, so he gets a shot, and Zac Efron, who's the better wrestler, gets left behind all the time. And you just watch it feeling bad for Zac Efron the entire time. And he's actually a good actor. I can't believe I'm saying it. He's phenomenal in this.
Well, he's very good when he's playing Ted Bundy. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I didn't think it was a good film, but I thought he was good in it. Yeah.
Not the best movie, but he was good.
Yeah. All right, go on then. What's a good Zac Efron film?
He did an excellent documentary series on Netflix where him and his
Oh, it
real
was the Disney one,
holistic, his
wasn't it?
like sort of yoga sort of friend went around the world. One episode they were looking at renewable energy. One they went to like visit the oldest people in the world, and another one they sort of did all these things. And it was actually really interesting. And it was also really sad because his mate he was with in the last episode finds out that his house was burnt down in like the wildfires in like LA or something.
Oh god, yeah, that was
And
huge,
then
wasn't
they
it?
show him when he goes home, and there's like nothing left. It's actually quite sad to watch, but it's very interesting. Actually, to be fair, I don't know if it's still on. This is a couple of years ago. I can't even
Yeah, the
remember what it.
wildfires were during the pandemic as well. It was like late 2020 or early 21 or
Yeah, I
something.
don't even remember what this show's called, but if
I'm
you put
sure
in
it was
Zac
on.
Efron documentary, I'm sure it will come up or something.
All right, I'm sure it was on Disney, wasn't it?
It was on Netflix, and I watched it. I think interesting.
No, that sounds good. Yeah, I don't think he's been in much other good stuff, but he's yeah. As I said, I was blown away by his performance in this film. But yeah, I think it'd be good for when you guys see it to bring it up again, because I think there's loads to chat about in this film. But I don't want to give any spoilers away at this stage because it's quite new out.
Well, it's like the wrestler. That's quite a sad story, isn't it?
Yeah, that was good as well. What's the guy in that called again?
Well, it's Mickey Rourke, but it's something the Ram.
What the who he plays? You mean?
Yeah, like Rocky the Ram or Ricky the
He
Ram or
plays
Randy,
Randy
Randy the Ram.
Randy the Ram Robbins.
Yeah, the Ram Jam does his top rope thing, doesn't he?
Yeah, I remember that film. It was better than I expected it to be, actually, because Mickey
I watched
Rourke's a
it quite a
brilliant
few
actor.
times. Yeah, it's one of his best performances, I think.
Yeah,
'Cause it kind of
yeah.
gives the idea that he dies at the end, but it doesn't actually show you, does it?
But yeah, I think you'll like the Iron Claw, but it is yeah, it's a tough one. But it's got
Yeah, I'll
loads of
check
good
it out
people
when
in
it
it.
comes out on Netflix or something.
Do you know the guy called Harris Dickinson who's in it?
No,
This guy. He plays one of the brothers.
it's really blown out. Can't
Oh,
really
is
see.
it? Yeah, it's probably a bit too bright, isn't it? He was really good. He's not been in many films. I was trying to work out who he was because I recognised him when he came on the screen, and I didn't know him. I don't know. It's a bit of a obscure film. Have you seen Triangle of Sadness?
No.
That's a pretty mad film. He's in that. He's very good in that. But yeah, no, The Iron Claw, definitely probably one of the best films it's going to be of this year. I think it's going to be one of the top ones, and I think he's going to be in line for. Well, I don't know if it counts for this year. I assume it would be next year now, obviously.
Yeah, the problem is when films are that long ago, they kind of get forgotten about, don't they?
I know, it's annoying, isn't it?
You need your films to be coming out just before the Oscars,
Yeah,
rather than just
but
after.
then again, I appreciate his acting, but will everyone else? Because it is a bit more subtle. You know, he's not big in it, even though he's a big guy. It's just emotion. It's just raw emotion. He's not allowed to cry. He's not allowed to be upset when his brothers die.
The only thing he'd be in line for is Best Actor, and that's a tough one to win.
Yeah, imagine the films that are coming out this year that's going to better that. You know, there's probably tons, but I don't really. I get more upset these days watching films. I've never been one to get upset, but that one was. It was embarrassing being in a public place watching that film. Sit away from people when you go and watch it.
Well,
Drew is experiencing connectivity issues. Ask them to refresh and enter the studio. Is he blurry on your screen as well?
doesn't exist on my screen.
No, just beforehand.
Oh, it's terrible, yeah.
Yeah, he was bad, wasn't he? Don't know what that's about. Okay, just messaging him. I don't want to talk about too much until he's back again. I can just trim this little bit in editing.
Well, I'm gonna have to bail soon anyway, so it might be good maybe just to pause this one and continue it maybe another day this week, because if Drew's having issues, by the time he gets back on, we don't really have time to get into a meaningful conversation, do we?
Well, what time do you need? You've got half an hour, haven't you?
Well, like 10 minutes or so.
Oh, okay.
I need to go and give him a bath and then get him to bed, so...
What? So where is he? Is he downstairs in like the restaurant area or the play area or something?
Yeah, but I can be free every other night as well if you guys have got like a 45 minutes again. But yeah, I'll bail now because I need to go and get them sorted. And like I say, if we've only got 10, 15 minutes, not really going to get much done, especially because I don't think Drew can't get in. So I'll dip off now, but I'll see you guys later in the week.
All right, cool. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your holiday. Speak to you in a bit.
Uh-huh.
Bye.